Can't hear you.
That's the Instagram, the default mic. That's what it is. Gotcha. And then let's see the default speakers. We don't need the speakers here. Pia, can you hear me now? Okay, excellent. Let's make sure we can hear you as well. As Pia comes into the StreamYard, guys, hey, let's talk about it on TikTok. Let's really discuss it. Let's see. And you're still waiting on Dave, 90% of your migraines on step 3 now. I hope that you gathered as much evidence as you could for your migraines. If you are denied, and hopefully you're not, reach out to my team and I so that we can make sure that we help you gather as much information as possible. I myself am rated 50% prostrating for my migraines. And I want to make sure that you don't downplay your symptoms, because we spoke to a brother the other day, Pia, who really spoke about symptoms migraine wise. And I think he's downplaying. He says they only come in a bit. And, you know, for anyone who's ever had migraines in their life, I don't think there can ever be a bit of a migraine. When you're young, you guys kind of bulldoze and force your way through them. But when you get older, it's just not so easy to do. You know, 20 years worth of migraines will eventually take its toll on you guys. So please reach out to us if you are still stuck with your migraine ratings. Hey, Pia, you look awesome. I had to take off my funny ears.
You take off your headphones, huh?
Yeah, I had to. Let's make sure we're turned up as loud as possible.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, definitely can. And guys, make sure, let us know if you can hear Pia okay on TikTok as well. Let's see, let's continue on through TikTok too. For almost took a year. Does it change the future and how it works? So what we're talking about tonight, guys, and we want you to be able to stick around and ask as many questions as possible. But we are going to get into a specific topic tonight. Oh, Cassie's out here. Oh, I love it. Good to see you again, Cassie, sister. Always a pleasure. Guys, as you come into the room, let us know where you're from. You take the Sumpter-Pimta. Yeah, I can never say the medication that they give you, but it's the default medication that the VA gives you for your migraines. And, you know, they're 50-50 crapshoot. I tell you, you know, if you catch them early, sometimes you're good, but a lot of times when you don't, if you're out and about, you don't have your medication with you, I'm basically done. I'm going to be honest, guys. Things I say, I would never wish two things on anyone is migraines and taxes. And for someone to say you're only dealing with a bit of migraines, I think you guys really need to sit and consider what you're dealing with and what you're pushing through because of what your daily life requires of you. So is it true that MS is presumptive? Hey, listen, guys, we truly want to be able to answer your questions tonight. And then so I tell you, Pia's not on the TikTok side. So the questions that you ask, I will relate to her as well. But tonight, we're definitely going to focus in on our specific topic. If you guys want to catch us and ask more benefits questions, of course, please join us again on Monday nights is what it looks like it's going to be here soon, Pia, because we want to try to book in the weekends. That weekday stuff's not working so well, I tell you. But we're going to try to focus in on Mondays with the questions. But on the Thursdays, we're going to specifically talk to a group of people, which is our advocates, our spouses, our family members, the people that our friends, the people that really take care of us as veterans, Pia. And so tonight's topic is about overseas veterans and the benefits that they can receive when they're overseas. I myself live in Krabi, Thailand, and I receive all of my benefits, Pia. And hopefully here very soon, we'll be talking to Pia about more of the benefits that I receive, specifically, the home loans and working on wealth building, long-term insurance and such. But today, we're talking about benefits that we can all receive once we get to our 100% P&T. And if you're at 90%, guys, you can also receive your benefits out of the country as well. Excuse me. So, Pia, as we talk tonight, I really want to pick your brain about these things. Now, I know you don't live overseas, but I tell you guys, once again, this is a wealth of knowledge in front of you. We'll allow you guys to ask some questions here in the future too, but we definitely want to ask specific questions pointed at Pia tonight. So Pia, if you would not mind, could you tell us what you know about FMP, the Foreign Medical Program?
Foreign Medical is really a great program for veterans who are in the Philippines. They can go to one of the hospitals that are closest to them to receive their health care. And there's also, my understanding is that you can also get whole health opportunities through the Veterans Health Administration, as to where if you're not wanting to deal with medications, you can go through their whole health program. What whole health does is gives you the opportunity to get into Tai Chi, acupuncture. You can get into chiropractic care, and also now massage therapy. So there are some really amazing benefits through the healthcare system if you're over the 50% service-connected criteria, which is priority group 1 for many of you who don't know the different priority groups, to get into the whole health program if that's something you desire.
And then so as Pia is spitting all types of facts for you tonight, guys, I can tell you this, practically they don't work. So let me say, all these things sound
They're
nice
available.
on paper. They are available, I promise you this. But anytime you deal with the VA, and you guys know the VA well, things usually sound better than they actually are. Now, let me say this, as someone who lives overseas, as someone that is 100% P&T, I have learned that the easiest way to go about these things is to plan ahead. Mm-hmm. It's to have these funds saved so that when things happen, crises come about, I have the funds available to go to doctors here. And I say that because, especially here in Thailand, but overseas a lot, the medical over here is on par, if not better, than the medical in the US. It's a lot of times the customer service is better and on par or better than it is in the US. So there's only one VA hospital in all of Asia, and it is in Manila, But good luck getting in there if you want to go see anybody. If you don't have an appointment, if you're not listed there, if you move overseas and you don't move your VA listing to there, they won't even let you in the door. They have armed guards at the door waiting on everyone and anyone. So I say these things to say they sound good, but make sure you're prepared if you're planning on going overseas. Maybe take a trip over and see what it truly is like before you get over here first, guys. But with those things being said, Pia, the FMP is a great program, but oh boy, if it works, good luck. Now, there's lots of documentations you got to turn in for it. Have you ever helped anyone with their FMP paperwork, Pia?
So not for foreign medical, no. It's always been stateside. So that's a good thing. But I know they're supposed to use a standard 1010 EZ form. Are they still using that?
They do. And then, so guys,
Okay.
when you first move overseas, there's a specific form that you must fill out to let the VA know that you're transferring, for one, that you're going to be utilizing maybe the Manila VA or the Guam VA if you're in Guam, I guess. But those are the only two in the entire region. And then from that point, you can also let them know that you'll be putting in any type of paperwork through the FMP, through the Foreign Medical Program. And that does take that form specifically to use and to upload. And you need to also include any receipts that you may have you've gotten from the doctors. But there's a lot more that needs to be uploaded as well. So just be certain you know what you're getting into, guys, when you come over here, because it's not as easy as it seems sometimes. So P, if I can also ask you, let's see, do you know, what you just told me, that how does the VA handle claims for veterans living overseas? Is there any difference in that? Does the VA handle claims differently when you're living overseas?
You know, to the best of my recollection, I don't know how they handle claims overseas. It's supposed to be whoever the jurisdictional VA regional office is nearest to wherever that veteran resides at. Now, it's an important note to add to this about address changes. If you are going to go from stateside to foreign side, you need to update your address in the VA benefits portal. You do not want to lapse that because they are familiar with whatever is on file for record. And the same thing with changing direct deposit. Always make sure that you're doing both at the same time, because the Veterans Benefits Administration does not talk to the Veterans Health Administration. They are two separate entities. And that is really something that a lot of us veterans don't know. We just assume that VA is VA, right? I used to think the same way. I used to think Department of Veterans Affairs is all together, the benefits, the health, all of it, education, and so forth. But I was mistaken until I learned about the different departments of the VA. So make sure that you do your due diligence and make sure to change your addresses and direct deposit. Same thing with dependent changes. Make sure you're always updating your dependent status, because life happens. Create new life, lose lives, and that is just something they don't know, and it will affect your compensation.
Amen. And so, Pia, as you speak about it, let's kind of dig down into it a bit, because this is exactly what you're helping me with and what you can continue to help other veterans with when it comes to living overseas and making sure that your family is taken care of. Guys, listen, we are here tonight talking to spouses, advocates, caregivers, family members of veterans who not only live overseas, but live in the States as well. But specifically, when you live overseas, is a different type of daunting task. The paperwork that you must turn in and the things that you must do to make sure that your family is taken care of. You are a foreigner in a country who you are a guest of. And so when you're living overseas, you must remember that if there's any information that needs to get back to the US, how does it happen? You must put these things in place. And that's why Pia is here. This is exactly why we're speaking to Pia, because we want to know what's next. Guys, once you get your 100% PMT, hey, Brother D and everyone that's coming into the room also on TikTok, thank you kindly. We know that you hear Pia, you can't see her lovely face, but she is here on all the rest of our social medias. And she is telling us tonight specifically about veterans and the benefits that you can get when you're living overseas and the different things that are in place for expats. Honestly, I know a lot of us don't think that we can receive our benefits while living overseas, but I am a walking advertisement for it. I receive every first my benefits check. And not only do I get my check, but then I also get benefits as well. So when we're living overseas, you must remember you've got other people to worry about. How does the states know what you and your wishes are? Does your spouse know what your wishes are? Are these things written down? Do you even have any insurance in place? So Pia, if you would not mind, I know last week you were, well, actually it's been 2 weeks now, but you weren't able to join us before because you were out doing your thing. And so I really want Pia to be able to tell you guys exactly what she does and what she continues to do, because we must prepare ourselves. So Pia, if you wouldn't mind, when it comes to veterans like myself, what's something that we can do to prepare our families when we live overseas?
So I think the biggest thing that you need to be prepared for is financial planning. Have yourself a plan, because what I've always said is if you fail to plan, what do? You plan to fail. So especially when you're going overseas, you need to have that money that can grow, protect, and save over time because of currency changes, life changes, and so forth. So we encourage you to take your 100% and look at other opportunities for you in wealth building strategies. And we'll give you those tools that you need so that way you understand that this is to educate you and empower you so you're not left alone out in foreign countries not knowing how to use your money correctly or knowing how to safeguard it from other situations. So we try to come in and show you ways that's going to not only benefit you, but also your family members in case something should happen to you. And that is just to safeguard you from any incidences that can occur. Even during travel, you need to be prepared for the what ifs. And one of the things that I like to talk to veterans about is, what does it look like when it comes down to focusing on your money and your concerns about money? Are you worried about being totally disabled? Are you worried about not being able to work overseas as a general contractor? Or if you do have a general contracting, what does that look like if you do become disabled because of other mental and physical disabilities that derived from your military service? So these are things that we don't think about every day. And that's where we come in. We help you with a personalized plan, and we track it, and we give you that information, and we say, hey, this is what your good habits are, your bad habits, your ugly habits, and this is what we can do to help you get on the right path, right? So we create a roadmap to your success, and that could be opening up a business, that could be real estate investing, learning how to use your money to invest in real estate, whether you want to be a passive investor or an active investor. There are so many opportunities out there for you as veterans, and family members can do this too, that can do this in their own lives and become the wealthy warriors of today. So that's what I love doing, and that's my way of giving back. It's been a great way for me to build my Airbnb empire and also pay it forward to other veterans who need a place to live. So that's what I do, D.
Amen.
It's what I love.
Amen. Pia. Amen. And I do look forward, guys, to working with Pia here in the future. When I come back to the States, I do truly understand that this is not just about financial gain, guys. This is also about the benefits that comes along with being rated properly. Yes, the stability that comes along with being in a financial situation is great. Absolutely. That's what the option is there for. But there are multiple benefits that comes along with being rated 100% PNT. And even Pia said, even at 50% P or 50%, you can still receive those same benefits. So guys, listen, your family takes care of you more than you like to mention, than you like to talk about. Let's be honest with each other. I have to be honest with myself. The little things that I overlook sometimes when it comes to the people around me, the things that they deal with, the impulsivity, the outbursts, the things that I work on, but I realize there's still a problem in my life. I'm 100% rated for a reason, Pia. When it comes down to it, I know that a lot of people in my environment deal with the fallout. So listen, guys, understand that the benefits that come along with taking care of your family and making sure that the wealth is there within your family, within your generations, is much more important than the financial aspect of this. So truly, listen, guys, when you are rated properly, reach out to Pia. And even if you're not rated properly, reach out to us so that we can make sure that you are, so that you can start to take care of the people around you and let them know that you appreciate them as much as they appreciate you, guys. So listen, guys, I know we got a lot of people coming in on TikTok. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you kindly. Hey, thank you for the follow, Mr. Grego. We are here for you guys. This is exactly why we're here. Not only is this free, the wealth of knowledge that you're gaining from Pia, but I can tell you practically, these things work sometimes. Sometimes they don't. And as a veteran, you have to adapt and overcome. And what's the 5 P's, Pia? My brain.
It's the 7 P's.
Seven?
Are you ready? Are you guys ready for this? It's gonna blow your mind. Prior planning preparation prevents piss poor performance. Nobody wants piss poor performance.
Say it one more time.
Prior planning preparation prevents piss poor performance. Nobody wants to have piss poor performance. None of us. Keeps you going. It keeps you motivated and determined.
It should at least, guys. And then if you do need that external motivation to understand that no one wants that bad sit rep, no one wants to come back rated at a 1. Listen, guys, take the time to truly look at your situation and say, should I be rated higher? Where am I in my life? Who's taking care of me? Who's dealing with the burdens that come along with me? Listen, guys, if you think you're perfect, you're wrong. And so the point of being 100% is to be vulnerable and open and honest and tell the truth about these things. And then so when you go talk to the VA, you must tell them, hey, listen, this is what's going on. And we talk about these things in 3s. When did it start? What are my issues and symptoms and severity and frequency? And how does it affect me today? But when you talk about the how does it affect me today, who else does it affect as well? We had a brother that was talking about his migraines in here earlier. Your migraines affect you in what way? I know that I have dry heaving spells. I have to go hide. I can't talk. I can't deal with anyone and deal with anything. I want to be away. But how does that affect your family? How does that affect your caregiver? How does it affect your job? How does that affect your environment? Guys, truly think about this in a total encompassing way and understand you must be open and honest when you talk about these things. So really look at it from a standpoint of saying, who else does it affect? And Pia, that's why we're here. We're here talking about family members, spouses, caregivers. And even if we're talking about coworkers or friends who just care enough to say, as a veteran, you probably need to go talk to someone, maybe mental or physical issues. So, hey, Billy Johnson, hey guys, as you guys come in on our other social media platforms, thank you kindly for joining us. We have Pia Norton here with us tonight, guys. And listen, I like to joke with Pia because it's so much fun with her being a Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. I don't know how. Right. She graduated boot camp before she graduated high school, guys. I tell you, these things are weird when it comes to Marines. But hey, Pia, we appreciate you being here with us tonight. I want to ask you some more questions, please. Of course, because that's why she's here, guys. Please stick around with us tonight. We're going to be taking questions, Q&A later. But right now, we're focusing in on talking to our veteran spouses, our families, and advocates of veterans. So we know exactly what you have afforded to you. We want to make sure that we take care of you guys as well. So Pia, when it comes to CMP exams outside of the US, are they different than they are in the States than overseas?
You know, that's actually really a great question for Paul, if Paul is here tonight on CMPs. But I can touch basis on the DBQs, right? The Disability Benefit Questionnaire forms, and allowing the doctors overseas to do those forms, and you can submit those into the VA as well. As long as you have a medical professional who can give a opinion that it is a nexus to your military service for that examination to help you with your VA claim, it is a legal form and it can be done by foreign medical professionals. Does not have to be where you reside. If you are stateside, I have heard through the grapevine that many people think it's illegal if you get a CMP done by a foreign examiner who does your DBQ because you paid for it out of pocket. That is incorrect. They cannot use that against you on a CMP exam. Okay, so if you get a denial and they say it's because you were stateside and your medical professional's opinion does not outweigh the medical professional on the state side, that is incorrect and unfair based off of CF8 regulations for 38 CFR. Now, don't quote me which one it is because it's been a minute since I've looked up that regulation, but it's in there and you can find it to help you with your claim.
Gotcha. So I think the sound may be coming from the speakers. We'll work on that next time when it comes to the sound in the actual room. Sorry, guys. I hope that you're able to hear Pia, even if she sounds digital. I promise you she is a real human being. I promise you she is. And
give me a crayon and I'll prove it.
Talk to her crayon and find out. You'll know soon enough how real she is, guys. But yeah. And then so even as an AI, she's telling the truth. I tell you guys, we've got other comments coming in on our other social media as well. And Brother Avery said that he moved abroad to save his retirement. Listen, guys, I could not afford to live in the States anymore. And then even with the opportunity to use FMP over here, P, I tell you, it is still 3 times cheaper to just pay out of pocket than it is to even worry about FMP. Now, listen, guys, I'm not advocating that you don't use FMP. But if you get annoyed as quickly as I do, which is much more simpler to just pay out of pocket and continue to move on, because as opposed to what it would cost you to live in the States and go to the doctor, it costs 1/3 of that here. And I'll give you an example. My daughter and I were out walking the other day, and unfortunately she got stung by something, maybe a wasp. And we went to the emergency. Now, the last time we walked into the emergency in the States, almost immediately you're stuck. You're coming out of pocket, right? But then we're in Krabi, Thailand, guys. I live in Thailand. And then so going through the process with the doctor was not only attentive and respectful, but she went through all of her checks and balances. She called other doctors to find out if it could be a different diagnosis before she said, this is the medication that you need, and sent us on our way. From the time that we walked in to the time that we walked out, we may have been in there for 1 hour, and it cost us a total of $150 US. She got her medication. She spoke to the doctor. We were in and out with no waiting, and it cost us almost nothing. You're talking about even talking to the doctor from outside in the US usually costs you $150 US. So guys, listen, understand that the benefits of living overseas are astronomical. I know a lot of times the belief is living in Thailand is all about mongering and living your second best life. But I tell you, or maybe even it's backpackers, but I tell you, Thailand is much more than that. And then not just Thailand itself, but the Asias in general too. So if you've ever considered moving overseas, I promise you the cost of living is much cheaper than it is in the States, guys. You really got to look into it and see what you can benefit from it, because there are brothers and sisters who are taking advantage of it. So Pia, thank you for talking about that, because I don't think enough people know that these things are possible when you're living overseas. The exams that you take are not much different than an exam that you would take in the US, except that it's cheaper. except that it's cheaper. And then, like you said, a lot of people believe that the exams are not valid because they're coming from an overseas doctor. That is also not true. So, guys, please reach out to us, and especially Pia at Veterans Wealth Solutions and us at yourvabenefits.org, so that we can make sure you know the truth if you're considering moving overseas. And if you want some practical advice, please reach out to me as well, because I'm more than willing to tell you. It still is a bit expensive to live over here, Pia, but you got to make sure that you stay within your means. And I think a lot of times that's where I go wrong. That lifestyle.
Luxury,
so
your luxury lifestyle.
Oh, yeah. You find out when your money goes so much farther that you can afford a couple of things. So you kind of want more. And I tell you guys, you really got to be careful. So my family and I, we spend somewhere close to about $300 to $400 US a month on groceries. Guys, please chat. Let me know in the comments. How much do you spend on healthcare? How much do you spend on food cost? We are a family of 4, myself, my wife, and my 2 toddlers. And we spend about $400 US a month on food. So please let me know, guys, what are you spending? Pia, if you don't mind me asking, can I, how much do you spend on food every month?
Dude, it's me. Like, I don't eat that much. My animals probably eat more than I do. That's a crazy question right there for me. I have nobody other than a service dog, another dog that's helping with that service dog, and then I have a cat. So I used to have 5 ducks. And again, they all eat better than I do because I basically am I do intermittent fasting, and I have found that to be beneficial for my service-connected disabilities. And it took me digging down the rabbit hole to look into that. So I live below my means there, D.
I hear you, Pia.
I'm comfortably, what do they call it? Numb, but happy at the same time.
One of my favorite albums, Dark Side of the Moon. But I tell you guys, listen, I'm reading the comments here, and some things that our viewers are saying are very true, which is in California, somewhere close to $5K to $7K a month to live. And then so even myself with a family of 4, my VA benefits are only just below $5K a month. And, that's right on the bottom level of California. Could never afford to live there. Even when I was living in the States, in Arizona, I was still finding myself working 40 hours just to survive. Now, of course, with the extra things that you guys pay for in the States, like insurance and such, those things kind of go out of the window for us over here. A lot of times we're not so concerned about insurance costs. My car that I rent cost me about $300 US a month. I rent it and I pay one time for the insurance, and that's it. And then so I've had the vehicle for a couple months now. Whereas, in the States, every month that insurance was $200, $300, and that stuff adds up eventually, guys. So yeah, just once again, consider, hey, Texas, what's up, Ben? Hey guys, appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Cassie, hey, good to see you again, sister. Like I said, always a pleasure. As you guys come in, let us know where you're living. Where are you from? Yeah, because I say, Ben, living overseas is a great thing. The relocation in itself, along with the culture, like you say, is beautiful, is wonderful. Not only do I have the option of scuba diving, I guess, snorkeling, but I could go hiking as well. There's ATV and so many other things that I could get involved in. Now, do I? No, absolutely not. They're fun to know that I can do, Pia, but to actually do them, I avoid them like the plague. But with that being said, guys, if you are fine with it, you can always come here and do those things. And to understand it at a third of the price.
I'm going to make a trip out there, D. I got to experience Thailand. I've got to know what Thailand is all about. So when I get a wild hair, I'm planning to come see you and Will out there. Yeah.
Please, you should. And guys, if I can say something too, thank you, Donnie. Thank you, Miles, for following. Make sure you follow Pia also at Veterans Wealth Solutions on TikTok and other social media platforms. As obviously she is a wealth of knowledge, you know exactly what you're getting into when you get with Pia. And then so if you decide to move overseas, guys, She knows how to help you do that. The relocation process can be daunting, so don't take it lightly. Prepare yourselves and reach out to us before we do so. But you know, guys, let me know. Send me the chat. What have you heard? What do you know about not just Thailand, but Asia? What do you know about being living in Vietnam? What do you know about Korea or even Japan? You know, a lot of times when it comes to us Americans, we think the world begins and ends with us. The world revolves around us. So the things that we see on TV, we take as fact. And like I say, a lot of times we hear that Thailand is just a bunch of old guys living their best lives the second time around. And you get here, you find out it's so much more than that, guys. So living in a car. Yeah, Tony. Hey, Tony, brother, always good to see you as well. You know, Tony's out there. Wait, Tony, you're getting ready to go to Vietnam? Or you're already in Vietnam? Danae, I believe this was, yep. And then so Danae, he's already there.
Oh, wow.
And so 100, he says 1,000 to 1,500, the most in a month to rent. And very true, guys. So let me tell you something about my situation. We want to make sure that you guys truly see what we're investing in here. And then so if you are working with us and you have the opportunity to come find some peace, some relaxation, but to also walk through your claim, we are working on a retreat here called Heal and File. And then so we are offering it as a benefit to veterans to be able to come over here and work through your claim from A to Z. Not only will you get to talk to me, of course, but maybe you'll get to talk to Pia if you hear her as AI on TikTok, face to face, and she'll be able to assist you with not only your claim, but making sure that you're prepared for the future as well. So Heal and File is here for veterans who truly want to be able to learn how to relax and find some peace so that they can partake in other things in life, but at the exact same time, get their claim taken care of from A to Z. So not only are we going to help you with your DBQs, with the IMOs, but you're speaking to doctors that cost a third of the price than they do in the States. And so guys, understand that where you normally pay $700, $800, $1,000 for a private IMO session, and or you can allow the VA to send you to a CFP exam and take that nexus letter, and that's not something that I would recommend for you guys to do. You'll be able to speak to our team of doctors for a third of the price to make sure that you get the rating that you deserve. Now, listen, guys, if you decide to come over here, we're going to work on a GoFundMe to make sure that the veterans who are chosen are able to come over here free of charge. Now, if you're not chosen, of course, you're more than welcome to come go through the process at a discounted rate for veterans and truly see what it means to live outside of the States in Thailand or just overseas without the stress of actually being here. So we're trying to make sure that you have your living condition taken care of, your transportation taken care of, and your eating as well. So guys, reach out to me so that we can get you signed up. We want to make sure that we take care of you every step of the way. Follow us and follow for more. And then you'll be able to talk to Pia when you get out here, because we'll make sure that you get the ratings you deserve and that you get the help afterwards as well. So Pia, the high season is upon us. It is from October to April. It is the best time to be in Asia, but especially in Thailand. You said you're going to get a hair. I'm telling you, if you're going to get a hair, now is the hair's time to get hairy. This is the best time to be here. Guys, let me know what you know about Asia. It's the
October through April?
That is correct. We have the opposite weather of the States. When it's ugly, muggy, gray in the States, it is beautiful here. So, Pia, if you're looking to come hang out with us over here for a little bit, this is the perfect time to do so.
Cool, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll
We'll
be
get
looking
here.
forward to that trip.
I
So
hope
that's
so.
another thing I wanted to tell you, like traveling with service animals, right?
Mm.
A lot of people don't know this, but it's good to prepare your animals for this kind of long, extensive,
Mm.
trip. One of the things I would highly recommend is making sure that your service animal is prepared, right? So make sure you talk to the veterinarian, get your vaccinations all updated, get a travel certificate from your veterinarian for your service animal. Make sure that you don't feed them within 24 hours of traveling. Now, I say this because you don't want your animal to get sick on the plane and you don't want them potty on the plane. And so I would highly recommend and I suggest that you don't feed them for within 24 hours and they'll be fine. They're not going to starve to death through that whole period of the flight. But something I learned by just flying to Costa Rica and stuff, you always want to be prepared before you fly with your service animals so the airlines will know what to expect when you arrive there.
Excellent. Hey, Pia, you got a lot of questions coming in about the animals. I should have known that that was a good question to bring up. So let me run some of these past you because these are very good questions, guys. Hey, Maddie, thanks, guys, for following us. If you're still in the room, hey, listen, if you're getting ready to go to basic, the best thing that I can tell you to do as a veteran is to go to sick call. Listen, you're always going to have someone telling you, calling you names, telling you to not go to sick call. Listen, find a way to go to sick call. We can come back and revisit this question later because I want to continue on. But hey, guys, if you're living overseas, it is very safe to live in Thailand. Look up the rating indexes in Google for safety overseas, and you will find out that Chiang Mai, Thailand, Thailand in general is always very high on the list when it comes to safety. Now, listen, those things come with a grain of salt. Right now, they're going through a lot of turmoil and turnover in Thailand because they just replaced their PM. So nothing is ever safe or completely safe. But just know that this is one of the safest places to live in the world, as a matter of fact. And even still, I still have cameras up everywhere, Pia, along with bars on the windows. I still
I believe that in you. I believe that.
It does not get any better than having cameras up on every corner of the house. And then so let's listen. Let's see what else Ben is saying. So Ben says, can anyone explain or answer if they allow American bullies in Asia? I mean, I'm not sure if they allow them in Asia. I don't see why they wouldn't. But it might just be very expensive in general to take a specific type of animal overseas. But I don't see why they
Well,
wouldn't
they'd have
allow
to
us.
check the breed. They're going to have to check the breeds that are allowed to travel. But again, if it has been a service dog, depending on the breed, they cannot discriminate against that breed because it has been task trained per ADA for that veteran. So that's why I encourage you guys to just make sure that the breed shows that it is an ADA task trained service dog, animal, whatever you're using for to accommodate your disabilities because we are considered handicapped in the airlines, and they cannot say one way or the other what's the dog for, what's the service animal for. That is a question that you do not have to answer under HIPAA to protect yourselves. You need to tell them what they're task trained for. That could be mobility, that could be medical alert, that could be deep pressure therapy on the plane. So there's many different disabilities under ADA that service animals are trained for veterans to travel abroad.
Excellent. And then, so I hope you guys got that. Just make sure that your service animal is listed, and just do your due diligence. But if you're not sure, please reach out to Pia because we will do our research with you as well to make sure that your animals are allowed to travel overseas. I myself had a puppy for about 6 months and decided that was the worst decision I made in my life, and gave him to a good family member. So guys,
There they go. There they go.
She's doing well now. Yeah, animals. Boy, I have zero patience. I love them, but from a distance. from a distance. So let's see, your stateside animal or your cat staying stateside, Tony? Oh, okay, couldn't bring the kitty cat with you, huh? Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sure that your cat misses you, brother. So pick's not. I'd be nervous to have a service animal in Thailand with all the soy dogs. Yeah, you know, I've watched a lot of people walk their dogs around, the random dogs that walk in Thailand. Trust me, guys, there are random packs of feral dogs that walk around all the time. They do not have, like in the States, any pounds or anything like that. They don't have people that just go around and catch the dogs. Culture beliefs state that the animals are allowed to roam free and be the souls that they are. So you got to know what you get into when it comes to being here in Thailand. If you're walking your dog around and your dog maybe sees a pack, you got to prepare yourself. Once again, I'm always open and honest with you guys. I was walking on the road the other day and ran into a pack of dogs, and they were not happy with me being there. And I let them know that I was wrong for being there in the first place and continued on my way. It was my fault. So you got to be prepared with these things, guys. If you're over here, if you got your animal, just be careful. Just be careful. How difficult it is to bring your dog along with the paperwork involved? Yeah. So there were, like I said, a handful of questions here. Pia, do veterans need rabies vaccines before? Do veterans need them? Do we need rabies vaccines?
Sure, guys. Hey, you know what? If you're foaming at the mouth, you got issues. If you're foaming at the mouth, okay, you better get that rabies vaccine.
28 years later, just came out in movies, guys. If you're foaming at the mouth, I don't think you should be moving overseas. That's probably not your priority, number one. Yeah. So, but as a veteran, you've been shot with everything already. You've probably already had your rabies vaccines. You just don't know.
You're immune to it. Hey, you just don't know it.
Just go get your vaccines regardless, guys. Just be prepared before you go anywhere. I mean, before you deploy, especially Africa and the different other, they hit you with pills, those malaria pills, horse pills, like 50 cal bullets. They're like huge, but you have to swallow them. Go get your stuff before you move. Don't avoid that stuff unless you don't like vaccines. Then don't get the vaccines. I'm not advocating either way, guys. Get the vaccine or don't get the vaccine.
You can opt out of vaccinations if you have a religious preference. And so I'm just saying that if some of you feel that it's unnecessary, you can use your faith to opt out. So I just helped a veteran's 7th grade student. As a matter of fact, they wanted to give him some vaccinations, and he was torn between the two. And I said, dude, do your due diligence, look at your guys' faith, look at how you feel about that, and do you really think your son needs this? And so they did. They wrote a letter to the school, and he's still playing football. And guess what? He's still in school. He's still in classroom. So it can be done. But again, I always encourage you guys to do your due diligence, find out what works best so you don't get yourself in any trouble with the good old school system as well.
Amen. And so to add on that as well, guys, just learn how to self-advocate. Really practice on self-advocacy, because that's the best thing you can do for yourself. And just like being stateside, if you decide to move overseas, figure out exactly where you want to be. Figure out where your dollar goes best. Pia joined the Marines for a reason. I joined the Air Force for a reason. There are different branches for reasons. And so if you travel overseas, the Philippines are not going to be the same as Korea. Now you just got to know where you want to be. Go figure it out. Go land and figure out their visas. Here in Thailand, the visa situation is pretty annoying. It does not go well. You must put in a lot of time and effort to live here permanently in Thailand. I'm finding out that it may not be for me. I've been here for close to a year, about 8 months, Pia, but this visa situation is pretty difficult. So my wife is Filipina. We're going to go back to the Philippines for a while, where the visa situation is much more broad and open. You can stay as a guest for up to 3 years. Now, of course, you must go back and go to the immigration office and check in, of course. But in terms of, like, say, here in Thailand, where you got 30 days to be here before they kick you out. You can't be here anymore until you update your visa. Things become a little bit more difficult, you know? So just understand what you're getting into, guys, when you're traveling overseas, because even with animals, insurance, and just understanding how far your money can go in different places, self-advocate for yourself and just learn what works best for you. Will was saying that Singapore and Malaysia have bans on strict animal controls, especially for pit bulls and American bullies, guys. So make sure you, once again, if you're going to Singapore, it's super expensive. But Malaysia is a bit less expensive, that they have strict rules on different animals and imports. So Japan has a blanket ban. Japan has a ban on everything. Guys, if you're thinking about moving to Japan, don't. Japan has a ban on absolutely everything, guys.
They don't like GIs anymore. They just don't. They don't like us over there, guys. Plain and simple, you know. Don't want to sugarcoat it, but they really hate Marines. So
I believe it. I believe it, Pia. And I lived in Okinawa for about 6 or 7 months, and this is about 10 years ago, though, guys. So it's a while now. But it was a gift and a curse, because truly they still have a lot of disdain for Americans out there, especially for veterans. So once again, you got to know where you are and where you're going, because you don't want to get in any trouble simply based on who you are. So South Korea allows the animals, pit bulls, American pit bull, guys, if you want to go to South Korea. And South Korea has a lot of good opportunities as well. There's a lot of industry. There, a lot of corporations there. And my favorite place in the world, the Philippines, Mabuhay, Philippines. It says that the Philippines allows them to, but the local ordinances may vary. And yeah, you really got to understand what you're getting into in the Philippines as well, because the state might let you fly them in, but you may get into a local area and someone may not like it, and then you may have to pay up there as well. So just understand what you're getting into when you're dealing with local politics in countries as well. So let's see. Service animals are not recognized worldwide. ADA is an American law. Oh, wow. So we got to be sure. We got to be positive when we travel with our animals that they are allowed. Let me get to these comments also. And I will read the music. Yeah, Pixar, yeah, I tell you. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Will. Guys, one of the biggest issues that I have here is the visa. The visa situation is always a problem and always has been in Thailand. Their government is always within a flux. I won't go too deep on what happens here because they are very militant and certain things will get you in trouble. I'm going to be honest again. So make sure when you're traveling to these countries, you know what type of government you're dealing with. And then so in talking about their government, they just replaced their recent PM, the prime minister, and the parliament is for the most part being dissolved and they're rebuilding. So I tell you, when I came in February, they were giving everybody 90-day visas. Come hang out with us, no problems. Come chill out with us. And then a month later, they're like, no, get out. Everyone's got 30-day visas. And if you don't go re-up, we're gonna kick you out. So you just gotta be prepared when you're over here, guys. I never want to sugarcoat anything when you're getting ready to move overseas. So hey guys, thank you for following me. Make sure you follow Pia as well at Veterans Wealth Solutions on TikTok and other social media platforms. And you know, Pia, we're definitely going to get you to come hang out with us over here. But I want to ask you a couple more questions as well, because we're almost up on that 1 hour point. And I do want you guys to come in and be able to ask Pia questions and get some of your concerns off your chest. So what is your top 1 or 2 countries that a vet should retire in with VA retirement and disability? That is an excellent question, veteran experience. Thank you, brother, for following as well. Pia, I'll ask you out of the gate. Do you know if you were to have the option of living on Mars or living in Asia?
Which is more practical? Somebody give me a beam me up, Scotty, and I'll go straight to Mars. But you know, hey.
I have to ask the hard-hitting questions when it comes to Pia. You gotta keep her on her toes. So, Pia, have you ever considered moving overseas?
I actually wanted to move to Costa Rica. I was really considering staying in a nice little casita in Costa Rica and Guanacaste, and you can still do a lot of, American currency and so forth, and people are really nice over there. Um, I went to Rhythmia Life Advancement Center there, and they actually have treatment for PTSD for veterans by using plant medicine ayahuasca. So they get a lot of people coming over there that have had an amazing experience and recovery of PTSD for combat veterans and non-combat veterans. And then also just the people in general are just so kind to you there. So yeah, my heart was a little bit stuck in Costa Rica. I didn't want to leave and come back to the States. But I am always looking at wanting to go to other countries. I've always wanted to go see Egypt. I've always wanted to see what it's like to live in Thailand or Vietnam. So, some of these countries that have already had American presence in it that has benefited their countries, they're going to be a lot nicer to veterans, right?
Yeah.
Because we're helping support their economy.
And that's the truth, guys. You really got to know the comment that was said here. Pixnot said, it depends on your lifestyle. It truly does depend on what you're looking for. Guys, you sit down and come up with the pros and cons. The things that you're looking for and the things that you're willing to tolerate when it comes to living overseas. And Pia's even talking about something better. It's not just about the Asias. It's also about the South Americas, the Central Americas, maybe even the Middle East. Or Europe, as a matter of fact. Dubai is a beautiful place, guys. Don't sleep on the Middle East. There's many places in the Middle East that you can be, and Africa as well. Now, Egypt in itself, I tell you, Pia, is a little bit, it's a little bit overrun now. It's gotten to a point where it's not as pretty as it was in the beginning, but it's still nice nonetheless. But there are lots of places like Costa Rica, Panama, Mexico as well. If you don't want to go too far, but you still want to be out of the States and make your dollar stretch further, Mexico City is a great place as well. So one question was that give a top one or two. So I don't want to just tell you about the Asias, even though the Asias are where I've been, simply because I worked between Iraq, Afghanistan, and Kuwait for 7 years. So when I traveled on vacation, it was always in Asia. So when I advocate for them, it's simply because I know so much about them, and that's really what it comes down to. But in Asia, I would say one of the best places you can be is the Philippines. And I say the Philippines because their visa is so easy. It really is. It's annoying, but compared to the other Asias that I've been in, much, much easier to deal with. Now, in Thailand as well, the convenience is there, but things are constantly changing. 1 month is 30 days, the next month is 90 days. But now in the Philippines, though, when you go deal with the visa immigration, it might take you 3 or 4 hours. You got to be ready to sit around and hurry up and wait, But when you're in other places, you can get it done 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you're in and out. It's very easy. So once again, just know what you're getting into. So if I had to say anywhere in Asia, I would absolutely say the Philippines. But if I had to say in the States, in the beginning, I would have said Panama. But Panama has become very commercial now as well. So I would say maybe look into Mexico. My biggest things, Pia, is always medical. I want to know where the medical is and how well does the medical do. And I also want to know how quickly I can leave that country. So I want to know their transportation. How big is your airport? How well does your airport function? How quickly can I escape this place if I absolutely need to pack a bag and be out of this be in 30 minutes or less? So yeah, so you got to really consider these things as you travel, guys. So Colombia, DR, and the Philippines, top for visas, absolutely. I have not been to the DR yet, Pia. Have you been to the DR?
No, I haven't. I would like to go there too, I think. Check that out. I'll put it on my bucket list. I'll put it on my bucket list.
And then, so Pia, what do you enjoy? Is it scuba diving? Do you like skiing, sailing? What's your hobbies?
So, now that I'm part of this big organization out here in Wilmington, North Carolina called Veterans Business Collective, they have Freedom Sailing. So it's a nonprofit organization where one of the veterans take out people to go sailing. And I got to go sailing with them. And it was really awesome. It was a great experience. I hadn't gone sailing before. I've always wanted to. And I was out there with like 6 other people. The weather was great. He's a great captain. So if you guys are ever out this way in Wilmington, let me know. It's called Freedom Sailing. The guy is Captain Joshua Johnson, and he's very good at what he does. And he knows how to watch the sail on the boat.
I hope so. He's the captain. I hope
The
you gotta watch out for those
captain.
fires. You gotta make sure those fires don't creep up on you.
But I don't get to do a lot of hobbies that I want to do. But I have the option to go hiking up in the mountains if I want to, go camping. Asheville's not that far away. It's about 4 or 5 hours. And then we have the beaches, of course, so being able to take a service dog out on the beach, going for a walk, good for your mental health, decompress from all of the networking and people. Yeah, that's kind of my escape, not really a hobby, but
I hear you.
it helps, right? So we do what we
as a
got to do.
100% As a 100% veteran PA, I wouldn't know if you would know how to have a hobby, to be honest. I don't think we know how to have hobbies, guys. It's just a billion things going on all at once. Everything is our hobby, if you ask me. So when it comes to these things, just be prepared and know what you're getting into when you get over here. So we actually had another question. This is, would you be able to make disability claims in the Philippines? And then, so guys, if you're just joining us, thank you and welcome. We're speaking to Pia Norton tonight. We're also talking about the different benefits that you can obtain when you're overseas, not only as a veteran, but as a spouse or an advocate, a family member of a veteran, and all the different benefits and opportunities that are afforded to you when you are rated 100% P&T, and not just 100%, but actually starting at 50%, something that I learned today with Pia. So yes, you can absolutely file your disability claim while in the Philippines. And something that we are currently working on here in Thailand is making sure that veterans can travel here and work through their claim from A to Z with Heal and File, so that when you get here, you know exactly where you need to be, you know exactly what documentation needs to be taken care of. We file, we help you we assist you, and then you can go find peace because you know that your claim is in good hands. So guys, please reach out to us if you're looking to travel overseas between the Philippines, Thailand, wherever. We are here to make sure that we, TikTok is getting ready to kick me off. We are here to make sure that you are taken care of every step of the way from A to Z. And that's exactly why we're also talking to Pia. One second here, Pia. This little puzzle thing always befuddles me. Okay,
all good, D. Hey, we've got a question that I really want to go ahead and address from Carl Harrell. He says, are disability payments affected by exchange rates? That's a really great question. So to be honest with you, if you're receiving your direct deposit through the VA, I imagine that it's not going to really affect the exchange rate because it's all coming to you through direct deposit. But I would definitely do your due diligence and find out whatever country you're going to, if that's going to affect you, or take some cash with you while you're getting your regular disability payment paid.
Hey, Pia, can I tell you one of the beauties of getting paid while living overseas as a compensated or retired veteran? Guys, listen, the rate exchange is beautiful. I don't want to cry while I talk about this, because when I get paid, when we live in the Philippines, especially in the Philippines, whenever our rate goes up, their rate goes down. So what happens is when our dollar is stronger, their peso gets weaker. And then that means the things that we buy that may normally cost $1 now cost 95 cents. or 85 cents or whatever the exchange rate may be. It is a beautiful thing when you travel overseas and you find out your dollar stretches out to $1.15 or $1.30 or whatever it may be. So when I get paid, honestly, like I said, I'm just below 5,000. Hopefully at the end of the year, when we get our little bump, I'll finally get over it. But then when I go buy food, it's not just me buying $100 worth of food at the grocery. It's somewhere closer to $130 of food, $140 worth of food that we're buying at the grocery. So that inflation, that money that you lose when you're in the States, when your dollar is just $1 or your dollar might be $1, might be 85 cents really that you're only paying with. It's the exact opposite here on overseas. So the exchange rate does change every day, Pitts. Not that is true. Every day you wake up, the exchange rate changes, but normally it's somewhere within a hovering rate of, say, in the Philippines, of between 50 to 55 pesos. Sometimes it gets a little higher. And then here in Thailand, it's somewhere usually close to 30 to 33, 34 baht. So I like to think of it in math. For every $1, you get about 5 pesos. And for every $1, you get about 3 baht. So if you have to exchange it in your head, you know that things that would normally cost you $1 in the States, you can now purchase 3 of those things here. And in the Philippines, you can basically purchase 5. Does that make sense?
Nice.
I hope.
I mean, hey, it sounds good. Okay. I'm all about making a profit somewhere, right? So if you can make a profit and extend your payments over a longer period of time for you and your family, man, that's great. Like,
Absolutely.
I think I spend about almost $300 just alone on pet food and taking care of the pets and doing things like that, and then including my own necessities. And so it's like, oh, before you know it, I'm spending more than what I was a month before. And you see this happening weekly. It's like, it's not a figment of your imagination. You're literally spending more each week as you go by through the month. And I'm like, they just keep on hiking up the prices.
Pia, how much do eggs cost? Guys, tell me in the chat, how much do you spend on a dozen eggs? How, if you eat eggs, I guess, but tell me what the prices are in the States when it comes to your groceries. When we go shopping, we eat a lot of eggs. Pia was speaking earlier about how she does her intermittent fasting. I intermittent fast as well. And then when I do eat, I try to eat an egg at every meal, some type of egg at every meal. And then so they sell the eggs in a pack of 30. And usually the eggs for us cost about 110 baht. If you guys can do the numbers real quick, I'll let you go find out what 110 baht conversion is to US. But I'm buying 30 eggs for 110 baht. So I know if you're buying them in a dozen, you're probably buying them at the exact same price that I'm buying them at 30. So just let me know. I want to know if you guys can do the conversion real quick. But our eggs are cheaper. So that just lets you know everything else just goes a bit further. There we go, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Pixot. Thank you. So for 30 eggs, what you normally probably would pay for a dozen eggs. So these are the things that you benefit from when you're over here. I'm getting triple the amount of eggs that you are, and it becomes one of those things where if you've got a family of 4, really consider these things, guys. These are the benefits of living overseas and the amount of money that you spend on the big 3, your food, your transportation, and your living. And then, so of course, that usually takes up somewhere close to 50, 60, 70% of your income the majority of the time. If you could cut that into a third and still get the same benefits, why wouldn't you? So guys, reach out to us if you're really considering living overseas, moving overseas. And if you're really considering what you can do with your benefits once you get to the rating that you deserve, reach out to Pia so that she can help you get over here as well, because we would love to have you here and find some peace of mind over here, guys. So Pia, where else would you like to go? DR? Is there anyone considered Switzerland? Somewhere in the Europes? Is anybody considering the Europes at all?
I'm not very fond of what's going on in Germany. but
Mhm.
I would like to try to go to Sweden.
So I don't know a lot about Sweden, to tell you the truth. The Europes are just as expensive as the States because it is still a Western type, culture. So things
Mm,
still tend to be expensive. But of course, when you're looking for simplicity and cheapness, South America and then the Asians are the best places to do it. Hey, Pitts, and I
sweet.
appreciate you. Thank you guys kindly. And then leaving Da Nang soon, crazy. Are you active duty or core specialist? Good to see you, brother. Crazy. Are you active duty or leaving Da Nang soon? Or Da Nang? I always get it wrong. John, thank you for joining us, guys. We're talking to Pia tonight. Yeah, here we go with the eggs, right? So $5 for eggs. Oh my God,
Yep.
5 dozen eggs. Yeah, it's insane, guys.
That's
I
just
tell
for
you,
a
these
dozen for chicken
I
eggs.
know
Yeah.
these things add up. These things add
Eat
up. It's
duck eggs.
insane, guys. It's insane. And then, so if I can give you a little bit more, I hope to continue on with Pia too as well when it comes to generational wealth and building future plans, right? So it's not just about the VA loans and things of that nature, but it's also setting it up so that there's land involved as well, guys, because I want my family to be able to survive on their own. And I know a lot of these ideas seem grand and grandiose and daunting, but if the VA allows for you to have these types of benefits, why not take advantage of it? Why not go through? And we know it's a problem. It's a situation. It's a system. But you got to put yourself through it because this is more than just about you. This is about your family's benefits as well. This is about your family's future as well. So I want to be able to buy chickens, Pia. I'm going to be honest with you. I want a little bit of land so that I can buy these things and purchase these things and make sure that my family doesn't have to concern themselves with these things in the future. And then so I hope that Pia can help out with this because not only am I looking to buy a home, using my VA loan, but I'm hoping to actually own something as well. I want the generational wealth to stay within my family, and I hope you guys see it the same way as well. We are here talking about family members and spouses. We're talking about advocates and caregivers as well. And we want you guys to know that you are an overlooked and underappreciated group. We thank you for your service. And then so if you're a veteran, it's grumpy, stubborn, uh,
Salty.
stoic, salty, all those things. A lot of times we've been through the system and we know how basura it can really be. And we don't want to continue to go through it. Reach out to us. Let us help assist you move through this process. We understand what it takes. Pia is a 15-year VSO veteran. Like, you guys got to really know what's going on here. This is where the rubber meets the road. Take the opportunity to self-advocate, to reach out to Pia, to reach out to us at Veterans Wealth Solutions and your VAbenefits.org and get your proper rating so that your family can be taken care of as well. So, Pia, we're talking about those cost of eggs. What would you rather do? Put the money up front now and go buy a couple of chickens that have as many eggs as you like in the future, or continue to pay $5 for 12 eggs? I hope these eggs are golden goose eggs. Yeah, that's
No, that's
insane.
your standard chicken farm that somebody just decided to cage up and feed them. But what I was going to say, and this is really important, why Veterans Wealth Solutions was created. Mostly because of the 20 years that I've been advocating for veterans, not to mention just the VA claim side of things, but to actually identify the underlying issues that many of us face daily. And that is our financial struggles. We have different things that we have going on, whether you're a provider for your family, whether you're a single parent, whether you're a caregiver taking care of parents or veterans or whoever it may be, we are all dealing with some kind of financial struggle, some kind of burden. And a lot of us there's over at least 74% of us that are financially illiterate. We don't even know certain wealth building strategies that are out there that the wealthy use that we'll never know unless we go out and we find it ourselves. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when I tell you that we have a system that is not suitable for our needs, you got to remember that you're the investment and you got to take care of the best investment, and that's you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. So, to help you on that path, on your journey to get a better quality of life, we offer these tools. It's like a secret weapon, right? That you've always wanted to discover and learn how to use to benefit you. And I think that's one of the things that was like a real eye opener for me, Dee, was I was like, I was tired of being stuck. I was tired of working 60 plus hours a week. I'm a single parent of 2 children, and then also trying to coordinate visitation with the other person. And, all those things led me to, this is too much. It's overwhelming. What am I going to do next? And starting over. And what did that look like? And I've gone through hell, and I don't want to see a lot of other veterans have to go through anything that I ever went through, because it's not
Amen.
fair and you deserve better than that. So, the reason I'm telling you all this is because you have the power to change your lives for the better. You just have to be the reason to want to change your mindset to get you out of this stuck system and really go out there and work for it and get it and provide it to the rest of your family. So you're never stuck in that, what do I do next? Right? And we can get you into these different opportunities to show you what you need to know to get you into a better quality of life. I am living comfortably, y'all. I'm happy where I'm at. And if I would have known this 10 years ago, I could have been a lot further along than I am now. But hey, we're all on a learning curve through this. And so even if you go through Veterans Benefits International, you get your 100%, you get permanent total, you get housebound, you get aid and attendance. It's still not enough for you to live off of. And you need to learn how to protect, grow it, save it, and distribute it where you have extra streams of income coming in case anything should ever happen. So that is what we do on the Veterans Wealth Solution side. And we continue this journey together. We build the camaraderie back and we pay it forward to someone else. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, is bringing back camaraderie, unity, discipline, our leadership skills, and making it work for everybody, because we got to take care of our brothers and sisters.
Amen. Amen. We have to be able to support each other, guys, because no one else will. I know a lot of times we want our family members to understand exactly what's going on in our lives. And guys, if you are a family member or spouse, a caregiver, and an advocate watching this live, we appreciate you. We truly do. But veterans, we do understand exactly how difficult it is to bring these things up and talk to our civilians in our lives. We got to be able to support each other. So listen, please reach out to us when it comes to your VA benefits. We don't want you going through the same exact journey. We want you to be able to get there a lot sooner so that you can enjoy these benefits when you're younger. Pia says, 10 years ago, that's a long time, guys, to have missed out on so many benefits. The same thing for me as well, Pia. I know we talk about it all the time, but I went from 2004 to 2011 not even knowing what the VA was. I had no idea. I would never wish that on anyone. So any veteran that's out there that is just going through the process, they're finding out that this is a daunting task and they don't know where to start, or they've already been through it and they just don't want to do it again. Trust me, I know the feeling. Pia knows the feeling. Please send them our way. Please share these lives with them so that they know that there's other people going through it. And now we've learned truly what it takes to get the ratings that you deserve. And we want to help make sure that you get there with a lot less drama than we've actually been through. So guys, let's see. We got some more questions here too. What he said, don't tell the others. Yeah. So the healthcare access benefits in the other countries has been a huge benefit. Yeah. Thanks. Well, I tell you, especially when it comes to healthcare compared to the States, just cost alone, you know, I would never go to the doctor in the States. Even with the VA, once I got into the VA, it already built up so much of a stigma about going to the doctor. You know, the only time I would go to the doctor is when the VA was forcing me to go. So I understand, hey guys, it's expensive. Reach out to us because we have doctors on our team that can help assist you at a third of the price of what it would cost in the States. It should not cost $500, $600, $700 for these types of services, guys. And especially to get the service and find out that it's not everything you need. It's more than just the nexus. It's more than just the words on paper. You also must prep for your CMP exam. You must know what's on that DBQ. Come talk to our team. Let's really sit down, work out a game plan, and walk you through this step by step so that you get the rating that you deserve without having to go through the hoops that Pia and I went through. We do not want to see you take the same steps, guys. So then, Anthony Hamilton, appreciate the questions, brother. Hey, Tiffany, thank you. Hey, have a good day too. It is what, 9:20 here a.m. Pia, what time is it for you? 9:30, right? 9:20 p.m.
No, it's 10:24 p.m.
Oh,
Yeah, we're getting close to my bedtime.
We need to
But
make
you
sure
know
we
what?
get the,
I love hanging out with y'all because this is like my downtime to be able to answer some of those difficult questions, to sit here and spend time with you, D, and hear all these great things that you're doing for the veterans overseas, and even just your live streams are great. Your social media is great. You know, that's still stuff I'm working on, right? I mean, there's a lot of things I'm working on, but yeah, you know, I'm not Wonder Woman. I'm the real deal, but I may make you wonder what I'm doing sometimes.
Oh no,
But the
we know
great thing
exactly what you
about
got
this,
going.
the great thing about this, guys, is it gives you a safe space to talk to two other veterans. We're not sitting here asking you for money. We're not sitting here trying to sell you something. We're sitting here just being real, authentic warriors in this space, giving you the chance to understand we care. And we know you're not alone, and that we want you to be able to feel like you can tell your spouses, hey, go talk to D or Pia and ask those questions if you have some questions about your, significant other who's a veteran. Or maybe you have parents who are veterans who are stuck in their old ways. Let me tell you, I have a father who is a two-tour Vietnam veteran, Purple Heart recipient. This man is, I think he's like 75, 76 now. And he doesn't want anything from the VA. He doesn't want to take any advice from his daughter that knows what the hell she's talking about. But because he's so set in his ways, he doesn't listen. And it's going to put him into a situation when he dies. My sisters and I are going to have to figure it out because he's not going to give us any kind of opportunity to know what to do when he dies.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I know that there are a lot of veterans, especially Vietnam veterans, guys, who had a hard time coming back from overseas. And a lot of that stuck around with them. And, excuse me, I'm trying not to get choked up about it because I spent a lot of time in the VFWs and I talk to these guys and I know, I hear the stories. I know what they went through. And it hurts my heart to know that they came back to a world that they did. With that being said, guys, that old school is very stoic. They have a very strong stigma when it comes to mental health, and a lot of them don't want the assistance, and it's hard to reach out to them. And a lot of times if they won't listen to you, maybe they'll listen to another veteran. So please, by all means, share this with them so that they can at least be able to hear the words, and even if they take their own route, at least they know exactly what path they're taking. We truly do want to see every veteran succeed. We're not here asking for any money. We're not here asking for you guys to donate or do anything. We just want to make sure that you win as well. So then as we look through some more of the questions here too, I want to answer 3 questions specifically very quickly. Do you pay taxes when you're living overseas? If you have a business or if you're working remotely where you're making money from a W-2 or a 1040 or whatever it may be, you're going to pay taxes. If you only have one income like I do, which is from the VA, you do not pay taxes on your income. It does not matter how much money you make from the VA, you do not need to even file taxes. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? You don't even need to file taxes for the VA. So if you're living overseas, there's a cap on, I believe it's like 114K. If you're living overseas for more than a year, if you make more than 114K, you must start paying all those taxes. But anything underneath that, you don't need to pay taxes, but you do need to file. So really quickly on that, no, you don't need to pay taxes if it's just your VA income. And then the other question was, does the VA still cover medical costs if you live overseas full time? Yes, they do through F&P, but we know how that works. We know how F&P works out. If you were here earlier and we talked about F&P earlier, yes, they do take care of you, but mostly on paper, guys. Just be prepared.
But you have to go through the waiting process and getting your turn. So let's just be real here,
It's
Dee.
months. It's months. It takes months. And then, so yes, you can file for that paperwork. You can put it all in. If you get rejected, you got to put it in again. If you don't get rejected, it's going to take months to get it, but good luck. I know I don't want to sound too cynical. You're right, Pia. It does work, but I think I'm a little bit jaded when it comes to the F&P. So guys, the system works. I just don't like it. That's really all it comes down to. All right, so let's see. How complicated is it to transfer disability benefits to a foreign bank account? It's simple. It is simple. You must have the routing number, you must have your checking account number, and you must have the location of the bank that you open up your account at. You log into va.gov, and you can update that information through va.gov. You call the 1000 number. You can update your information through the 1000 number. You talk to the operator, say, I'm living overseas. I want you to update my direct deposit. Or you can do like me and just keep your American account. Don't switch it over to a foreign account. And I'm being honest, I love Thailand, but I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. So now I would have to take my money out of that account and try again somewhere else. Leave it in your American bank account. And when you got to go to the ATM, it's going to cost you a little bit. Or you can transfer it through different apps like Wise. What's the other one? There's a few of them out there. Wise, and I'd have to look it up, guys. Wise is one of the biggest ones. You can transfer that money from your American account to any other account for a very low price. So if you're going to be here, you know you're going to be in that place, you're never going to leave, go ahead and open up your account. You can transfer that information very easily. I wouldn't recommend it. I would just keep my American account and be able to use it wherever I go. So let's see. I've been an agent for years. Try to catch up with some questions here, guys, and some comments. Does your medical letter of opinion from the VA help doctor? Okay, so the question is, Pia, does a medical letter of opinion from the VA doctor help? Does it help what with your claim? I hope that I didn't miss the comment or if anything else that was said, but it helps. But the VA's medical opinion is usually kind of biased and negative and not for you. So yes, you could use it, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would say go get your own medical opinion. What would you say, Pia?
I would only recommend that if you've had a long-standing relationship with your primary care team that has the documentation already available, that is just additional information you can use. If it constantly shows that you have significantly worsened in your disabilities or that you've gotten new medical evidence of a secondary condition that is related to some of your primary service-connected disabilities. Because again, that is substantial medical evidence to support a claim. Now, if you have an outside provider because you're working from a 9 to 5 and they cover you on, medical, if it is more related to the post-service job, I would not use the outside medical provider because you don't want anything to cause a problem or a conflict with your service-connected disabilities and your post-job disabilities that the VA could conflict on a claim that you're submitting, okay?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I tell you guys, when I was going through my process, I didn't go to any outside provider either. Every appointment that I had and every um, doctor's appointment that I had was with the VA. So yes, you can definitely use that information. And thank you, PI. I appreciate that
Hmm.
clear up. So then we've got another question here. It says the VA requested that I fill out a TDIU form. What does that mean for my increased claim? What does that mean? What is TDIU, Thea?
They're talking about the 8940 form, the 218940 for individual unemployability.
Mhm.
So you'll have that form that you have to complete, and then it goes back to like 5 years of employment. And then I think there's another VA form, 214192, maybe somewhere
There's
around
two
there. It's an
forms.
employer's, yeah, it's an employer form. But again, it only goes back 5 years. So if you've been working with an employer for over 5 years, you just stick with that employer. Don't go anything prior to that. A lot of people fill that form out wrong. I would highly suggest that you just get the information with your dates of employment. If you don't remember and stuff, just get about an approximate period of time, who the employer was, how long you worked with them, and what were some of the significant disabilities that affected you during employment. And so that
Mhm.
way, that will show if you've missed a lot of days of work, if you were on a Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA. I used this when I was with Missouri Veterans Commission because I also have significant disabilities from my military service that affected my work performance. So FMLA protected me on that. I would also suggest that you document any kind of workman's compensation issues and also I think it's like the state has a long-term disability. So if a long-term disability claim is in, make sure that it is related to military service, not anything related to the job itself.
Mhm. 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 So to continue on in that question, I'm stuck at 90%, but getting paid TDIU. Can I get it switched to P&T once I get 100%? I guess he's saying regular. I think you mean scheduler. So I'll let Pia, I'll let you
He's 90%, but he's under TDIU
pay
now.
TDIU. Yes.
Okay.
Can
So
he switch to P&T?
all he has to do is put in a request for P&T. They're paying him at the 100%.
Yeah. And so, guys, I started out as 100% TDIU, and now I am 100% P&T. And I needed to request to have it made P&T. If you're TDIU, you're being paid at P&T level, you just don't have the designation, especially if you've been paid for a while. Say it's been about a year or two. You absolutely want to go back and ask them to upgrade that to P&T, especially if you don't plan on going to work anytime soon, like myself. So I still have the designation of TDIU and P&T. So please really consider going back and upgrading to the P&T. It can only serve you, to be honest. And if you're finding other issues, you may need to move on to aid in attendance or SNC housebounds. Getting to that P&T would be the best thing for you. So please reach out to my team and I so that we can help walk you through that process. We don't want you to go back and have your claim reopened and maybe even reduce, maybe a reduction could be in place if you say something that you shouldn't say. So please reach out to my team and I so we can make sure that you get it done properly. We want to make sure that you have a game plan going forward. And Tony, yeah, brother, I know Tony says he uses Navy Credit Federal, or Navy Federal. So Navy Federal, guys, is the largest credit union in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And they go everywhere. They know we travel everywhere. So you can use your debit card to get reimbursed while overseas when you put it into an ATM machine. I think they give you up to a certain amount every month in reimbursement. So unfortunately, guys, when I go to the ATM here, it costs me $250. That's $5 just to pull money out of my account. And then they put a limit on the amount of money that you can pull out of your account, since you have to do it multiple times. So if you've got the benefit of Navy Federal replacing that money, all the better. Just make sure that you guys know what you're getting into. Once again, like I said, when you're traveling overseas, because as a foreigner, people know that you're bringing money. They know that you're coming over here with money, and sometimes they want to get a hold of it as well. And the banks are no different here. If you're going to go to the ATM, you're going to spend some money to do so. So let's see what else is out there, guys. Thank you for following. Takeoff. Is it TikTok Takeoff? Appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Better yet, leave me a note because the guys are turning 300. So then, Wise is the best. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. If you're transferring money overseas, the application Wise is one of the best, if not the best, especially when it comes to the exchange rates. And then you can transfer it to any local bank that you have, and it's usually pretty cheap. So let's see. USAA. Any other group? Well, I hate asking you these questions, Pia, because I feel like you're putting stuff on camera. Do you bank with anyone in particular? Do you bank with Bank of America, or
I do not bank with Bank of America. Ixnay on Bank of America for me. Never had a great experience. I have banked with Navy Federal Credit Union. I have also used a pledge loan through Navy Federal Credit Union, which I highly suggest if you're a business entrepreneur, you look into the pledge loan. Good stuff there. USAA, great for savings. I also use them for my homeowner's insurance. But however, stateside, I'm finding out the insurance premiums just keep going up. Doesn't matter, but it's still probably the best out of other insurance companies for USAA, in my opinion, for veterans. But if someone has a better solution or a better suggestion that I can use for homeowners insurance that you found that you save more money than USAA, I'm all up to hear it. Because again, I do have rental properties and I use different insurance carriers that I'm always trying to find a good insurance premium for these properties. So please, if you have any good information out there, I already have a lot of plates spinning. So help a sister out.
Yeah, absolutely. Reach out to Pia and let her know, because I know those things can be a little bit challenging, especially when you're looking for the best rate, of course. So if you guys know anyone that can help out, please reach out to Pia. And then some other people in here were saying the same thing. The Navy Federal is the best. Yeah, that's true. Navy Federal is pretty good. I had a bit of a falling out with Navy Federal. I got to be honest, guys. I don't know if I can use Navy Federal anymore. We had some problems around the housing market, so it's been a while. But I hear, actually, I'll be honest. So I think I hear after 10 years, they'll allow you to come back. If you ever had any problems with Navy Federal or USAA, after 10 years, they will allow you to come back and work with them again if you ever need to go back with them. But they are very good when it comes to insurance and other things that they offer for veterans in total for USAA and Navy Federal. So I personally use, I can't remember it now. Capital One. There we go. I use Capital One. And I use Capital One because Capital One's online. There are no brick and mortar, so it's cheaper. And they usually deposit 2 days early. So it's even better. I don't complain seeing the check drop a little bit early. So yeah, guys, if you're still in the States, I would say just go ahead and keep the information that you have when you're coming over here until you really find a place that you want to be. And then, so let's see who else. I appreciate it, Darlene. Thank you for following, and make sure you follow Pia as well at Veterans Wealth Solutions. I tell you, I am really looking forward to working with Pia in the future. I think that we can accomplish a lot of good things. We do so well here, Pia. Don't see why we couldn't continue on this path. And so, guys, if you're like me and you're excited, you've got your 100%. Now you see that there are more benefits than just the financial aspect of this. There are so many other things that you can take advantage of, and you should. You absolutely should learn how to self-advocate for yourself and make sure not only that you're taken care of, but your family is as well. We are here to build wealth within generations, and the opportunity is there through your VA claim. So please reach out to us so that we can make sure that we take care of you. And that once you do get the benefit that you're looking for, the rating that you're looking for, Pia can help continue on with you through the rest of your journey. So Pia, we're coming up on the end here. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Paul, I'm going to be honest. If you watch this later, Paul, Pia, we may not need you, Paul. I'm just going to be honest. Pia's got everything.
Oh, well, we're going to need Paul. You can't do that to Paul. I worked hard to get Paul on the team. Remember? I was like, come on, Paul.
You did.
You can do it, Paul. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Guys,
so,
I'm just joking with Paul.
If I hire him, I can fire him too. So hold up, D.
Paul turns into a pumpkin after a certain time of the night. So we can't hold that against him. Maybe we need to start doing these things a little bit earlier in the day for you guys. But listen, guys, please reach out to us so that we can make sure that you're taken care of, because we want to make sure that we want to see you succeed. Pia comes here every week with me, and we talk about these things for free so that you guys know the truth. There's so much information out there, so many benefits out there. If you go looking for them, you're not even going to know where to start the majority of the time. And then when you do dig down into these benefits, there's so many small caveats. It's hard to keep up. But somebody like Pia, who's been doing this a long period of her life, has dedicated her time to this and is here tonight to do these things for free for you guys. So please follow Pia. Please follow us at Veterans Wealth Solutions and at yourvabenefits.org so that we can make sure that you get true information and get the benefits that you truly deserve. Pia, we know when it comes to VA benefits, like I said earlier, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. One question that I wanted to ask when it comes to VA loans is that I've heard that you're allowed to use a renovation loan. So I asked the question because there are veterans out there that already own homes that need to upgrade their homes. Maybe you need a wheelchair ramp. You can't walk up the stairs. Maybe you need some help in the kitchen or in your bathroom. Pia, is there well, I know that there's a renovation loan, but do you know a lot about it?
So what I recommend, and this is what we're working on too with the trust, is where we're going to be able to cut out the time that it takes for a special housing adaptive grant or special vehicle adaptive grant that the VA goes through their little, loopholes and processes, and it can take anywhere from 6 months to a year. What we're going to create is a way to where we can gift a ramp or offer assistance in home repairs by issuing gift cards to families who are struggling with trying to get a contractor, or they need help with something that has to do with a home repair, like a leaky roof or anything. So I'm building partnerships out there with a lot of different companies, either roofing, plumbing, electrical, the most majority of things, where we can not only support veteran families who are struggling getting the special adaptive housing grants and vehicles, but to also just give them that accessibility immediately to get it done before waiting on those grants. And then that's going to be really something that will be beneficial because it will be at no cost to the veterans. They just have to apply for it through our intake center. And that is what our app is being created for, because we really want you to see that the system takes too long to take care of an immediate problem, and there's no need for you to have to go through that duration. So yes, the grants are out there, the loans are out there, but not everybody qualifies. And so it's really good to just use our financial strategic team that is going to guide you and help you get through those difficult processes, because that's what I go to work for every day, to support you and make sure that you are taken care of at the end of the day.
Yeah, you guys got to understand that there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to these benefits. And if you think that it's going to be simple, it's not. And Pia wants to make sure that you get the benefits that you truly deserve. You actually get it properly and get it right the first time. So please reach out to her and her team so that we can make sure that that takes care of, or you get that taken care of, because we don't want to see you fail out of the gate. And then so let's see, we got some pop-ups here. We got some comments here on the other parts of social media. We want to make sure that everyone gets their comments in. I know we were asking about a few different things in terms of SSDI and SSI as well, Social Security Disability Insurance, compared to SSI. So if you've applied for SSDI, and I have, I was denied, unfortunately, but you understand it is a long process, and sometimes it can be harder than the VA process, because at least the VA, there are tiers, there are rankings, whereas on the Social Security side, it's all or nothing. You either get the benefit or you don't. So with that, SSDI is the benefit that you get when you're not 63, 64, 65 and a half is what it is. But then when you make it to that age, you can also receive your SSI benefits overseas as well. So if you're younger than that age, if you're already rated 100% with the VA, you may have an easier route to get your SSDI, but understand they're cousins. They understand each other exists, but they don't need to take any information and apply it to the other. So if you're applying for SSDI, don't think just because you're 100%, it means you should get the SSDI. That's not how these things work. They're government entities, but they're more like cousins, guys. So prepare yourself for both ends when you're going in for SSDI and going in for the VA as well. And then so you can receive SSDI benefits overseas, and you can receive SSI benefits overseas, but only after retirement. So be prepared for that. You got extra income as well. If you got the VA coming in and the SSDI coming in, that could be very very beneficial when you're living overseas. So let's see. I'm scheduled to see a judge for
Beneficial
SSDI.
when you're over here in the States too, man.
Anywhere, P. I tell you, just having that income in general is beautiful. I got scheduled to see a judge for SSDI. Hopefully, I get it. Tony, good luck, brother. I spent 3 years with mine. I had a pretty horrible lawyer group. I just found them online. I Googled them. I called them. I went with the first group that I had. And then I spent, 3 years basically going through the system and then getting denied at the end. I was not prepared to talk to the judge. I had no notes in front of me, no information. I just was not prepared. So good luck, Tony, on that one. Just be prepared when you go back in or when you go in. Know your symptoms and know what you want to say. Oh, I don't know if I can say this name online. B, we appreciate you hanging out with us. B what? Just got B what with some letters behind it. Just got PNT. Some are saying it's not secured, and some say they won't ever take it. What are your thoughts? Okay, then so I'll let Pia answer this question because I have thoughts for it, but I want you to get the technical, proper answer. So Pia, the question is B just got her 100% PNT. Congratulations, because I know how daunting that challenge is. But some people are saying that it's not secured, and some are saying they won't ever come take it from you. What's the truth, Pia?
If she looks at the letter, it will tell her if she is scheduled for any further examinations. Okay. If there's anything that says that you are held responsible for any further CMP examinations, it's not PNT. If it says that you have not or you will not have to be scheduled for any further CMP examinations, that's what it means. You are no longer held responsible for your compensation and pension exams. One thing I will tell you, though, is if you muddle the waters and you say that anything is improving, or you go in and you say, I'm healed and all this good stuff, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Within the first 5 years, I always say, be cautious about your 100% PNT. Just because you may be getting improvement, whether you're going through a good treatment or something like that, I do not think it's good for you to share that information with your VA medical team. Please take that seriously. Don't put yourself in a situation where you think that you're getting better because as soon as they start documenting that or anything raises a red flag, it puts you under the radar to be looked at again, because they are trying to crack down on people who are malingering at 100% permanent and total, because everybody wants to get 100%. We already know this. You've heard it through the grapevine. But to protect yourself, just don't say anything that can hurt you, because you still aren't cured. You still have the disability, and it's never going to go away unless there's a miracle that heals you. So I just want you to be aware of that, okay? And congratulations on your 100%. Good job.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because once again, that is a high mountain to climb. And then so when I got to 70% PTSD, with my nomenclatures added onto the end of it, excuse me, I decided that I wanted to talk to a psych because I knew I needed assistance. I knew I needed help. And I went in and talked to this doctor twice. And then, of course, the first question that they ask is, how are you doing today? And I answered the question, social niceties. I feel okay today because I talked to a friend who I haven't spoken to in a very long time. And then the second time I saw her, I told her that I had a decent day at work, that it wasn't so bad today. And that turned into a letter from the VA that said, we're going to propose to reduce you back to 50% PTSD. So once again, they glossed over the entire meeting that I had with the doctor. I was only, I was there for an hour and a half, but they took the parts that they wanted to and said, you're better. Whose fault was that though? It was my fault. I walked in there and said what I said. So you guys got to be prepared when you walk into the VA. Know what you're going to say. Don't go in here and start just spitting off at the mouth and being cool buddy chum with the doctor because you just got your 100% and you think everything is kosher. It never is with the VA. I don't trust them. I'm going to be honest. Even after 5 years, I wouldn't trust saying anything like that to them ever again. I've been burned once. I'm not going to get burned again. And then so when I go talk to the VA, every day is Groundhog's Day. Every single day is Groundhog's Day when I go talk to the VA. Does it hurt? Yes, it does. Does it hurt like it hurt 5 years ago? Yes, it does. Sometimes it's worse than it hurt 5 years ago. So understand what you're saying to the VA, because they will propose to reduce you if you say anything that goes against what you said previously. And you can't hold that against anyone but yourself. So, guys, be prepared when you go talk to those guys, when you go talk to the VA. And then let's continue on too, because I want to make sure we get as many questions answered as possible before we send Pia off to Slumberland. She needs to go sleep, guys. We appreciate
my back is killing me, guys. I ain't gonna lie. My back is really hurting.
Hours, Pia. I tried to sit earlier. I was like, screw that jazz. My back is done. So let's see. Found out that I needed to file a supplemental claim, and I've done that. Will my records show on the SU? So on the supplemental claim. So Pia, I'll allow you to answer that question too, because the technical answer is much better than mine. But I can of course tell you, if you had a primary claim in, and if you were denied and you're going back for a supplemental, or if you've got a primary claim in and you're applying for a supplemental, you want the VA to see all of your records. Make sure they know where your records are. Go find your records. Request your STRs. Request your C file. Ask for these things so you know exactly what's in your records, so that when you go back and you talk to that CP examiner and they say, well, I didn't see any of your records, you can say, hey, I got them for you. Congratulations. Or you know exactly what they say. Don't let the VA trip you up. Even if you think the record should be there, they may not be. So Pia, let me read the question. It says, he found out that I needed to file a supplemental claim, and I've done that. Will my records show on the supplemental claim?
What records is he,
I'm guessing STRs. I'm guessing STR.
The thing for supplemental claim, depending on the nature of the disability, is if you're providing new medical evidence that they have not seen before, or it's a lay statement or something, and giving the testimony to what this disability was never looked at in the first place or ever claimed for in the first place, if it's a secondary condition that you're filing for a disability that's already service connected and you're trying to associate it to that. It just really depends on what's already in that records that you've had on your C file. So this is something else I want to tell you guys about the C file. The VA has your digital C file since they went digital, I think it was 10, 11 years ago. It's been a while since I've been out. So a lot of changes have taken place. So if you're requesting your C file while you're filing a claim, you're actually not helping yourself because they're needing that C file to deal with the claim that you're submitting in. Because if you're going to pull that C file, they have to print it out and mail it to you. So when you're doing these FOIAs and stuff, understand if your claim is already being processed, do not ask for your C file because they're using that C file that has all of your information that you need to process the claim.
Wow. See, this is exactly why I'm glad P is here, guys, because these are the things, the small intricate parts that I don't know about, right? So I'm glad. Thank you, Pia, for clearing that up because I would have never known that. You don't want to put any delays in your claim. So yeah, absolutely, Pia. You want to request your C files before your claim gets started, never during your claim.
Right.
So the second part of the conversation, Pia, was he filed a new claim, and they have all of his records from his doc for PTSD, and they did a CMP exam. But they found out that he needed to file a supplemental claim because he filed for 1 year ago. So I guess maybe he missed his window. The year window.
But that's good. I mean, that they offered him the opportunity to file the supplemental claim. That's good. That's a good VA rater right there. Some people don't get that opportunity. So whoever did your claim was giving you the benefit, kind of like if it would have been Dwayne Kimball or one of these other guys that we talked to on the live streams, that they are about helping the vets, because not all VA raters are bad. Not all VA representatives are bad. It's the caseloads that they get that they have to overturn in such a short amount of time. So even as a veteran service officer, it was my duty to make sure I put everything together for a VA rater when we submitted it up to the VA. And that's how we are supposed to work. So that way everybody gets an opportunity to see, hey, we've gotten all this information gathered at the time that the claim was submitted, either on a fully developed claim or a BDD. It makes the job easier for a VA rater, because if there's anything missing, you are going to get a duty to assist letter, and they are going to ask you, we need more medical evidence. We need this. We need the information. So that is why I am on this team with Veterans Benefits International, is to make sure that we're guiding you through the process, educating you on the 38 CFR and the M21-1, and we're following up with all the updates in the VA. So that way, if you're going through ChatGPT, sometimes ChatGPT is going to be biased and not give you all the information available. And this is why we do what we do.
Amen. I know guys want to use ChatGPT because it's a very convenient organizer. But you got to understand that ChatGPT makes up information. So please, by all means, read over, double check, triple check, go ask someone that truly knows the information before you submit that to the VA, because I promise you, if you start submitting 38 CFR information or you start saying things in your claim that will damage your claim, the VA will hold it against you, simply because you allowed chat to give you some information that was not true. So, hey, Mr. 2.0, brother, good to see you again. As always, man, we're getting ready to separate here. We're almost done, but excuse me, the brother that was talking before, Slick Rick, thank you for following me. We are always here to give you as many VA truths as possible. Relax, Kia. Hey, listen, love to be able to talk to you if you're doing VA claims now. Please follow, like, and share, and we'll reach out to you so that maybe we can talk about some things here in the future. We're trying to build a network of veterans who are willing to assist each other, truly help take care of each other at the end of the day. So we'll reach out to you as well to see what we can work on. But I tell you this here, guys, when it comes to your supplemental claims, if you are filing online, or if you have a VSO or someone else doing it for you, when you go through the claims process, especially on va.gov, there's a part that asks you for uploading information, documentation. And if you're concerned that they're not going to see your documents, you can always upload that information at that point. As long as you have it, of course, you can always go grab it from your provider. But if you're concerned that the information from the previous claim is not going to be there because it is now expired, the option is there to make sure that it's added when you're walking through your supplemental claim the next time. So don't worry, even if they don't see it, you've got the opportunity to upload that information as well. Just don't do it to the middle of the claim. As Pia said, do it at the beginning of the claim. So let's see. Once you file documentation, oh yeah, thank you, VA Benefits. Thank you guys that are answering those questions as well, because it's kind of hard. I can see that comments are scrolling through here, Pia. Oh my goodness, no worries. So yeah, relax. You worked as a pre-rating and now post department. I'm sure Pia knows what you're talking about when it comes to that, the pre-rating and post department, Pia, for the VA. Do you know?
Yeah, we're the pre-raters paid lower than the VA raters.
There's rankings to this, levels to this, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, did not know. Well, good luck, relax, because, well, you went through all three, so you got a little bit of a bump in pay there, I guess, as you went along. The more information, the better. Always keep applying. You see, we as veterans, we get told no that first time, and we take it as law. We take it as set in stone. But the VA knows this, and this is why a lot of us fail, because the first denial, we stop it. Guys, so if you've been denied, please reach out to us so that we can help you continue on this path, because a lot of times you're getting denied because you got told no.
Yeah, and do me a favor. Listen, these VSOs out there, they really do care and they're working hard. And some of them may not always be the best that you go to. But when you do get that rating decision letter, don't go in there yelling and screaming at them with your paper saying, you people, you suck, blah, 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 blah. Because we really, honestly, it is not left up to us to make that decision. So you're taking it out on us because you're angry at the VA, and we're just there as the messengers, making sure that everything was sent to the VA for you. So I just want to let you know, if you're a veteran out there who's disgruntled about your decision, don't piss off your VSOs, all right? Because they don't deserve it. They're just there trying to do their job for the time that they're there. And it's not an easy task. It is a very stressful and lot of time and hours dedicated to law and regulations. And if you guys don't know it, don't try to come in there telling someone else how to do their job. Just saying.
Listen. I love Pia. I'm all about turning over tables. When I walk in, if the table gets turned over, your laptop gets thrown at you, this is your fault. As a VSO, this is your fault that I didn't get the rating that I deserve. So don't mind the CMP exam that I took. Don't worry about me not following up. Just burn it all down and blame it on someone else when you don't get the rating that you deserve. No, absolutely. Relax. I joke. I had a bad experience in the beginning with the VSO, and I learned that not all VSOs are created equal, thanks to Pia. So I know that you guys do exist. Pia, thank you always for being here, because we do appreciate you giving a different perspective outside of the one that I give, because I'm always ready to burn it down. I am all about the anarchy. Let's start all over from scratch. Let's scorch the earth and start all over again. But there are better ways to go about it, and truly understand that we are here to help you learn that path. We realize that a lot of times you guys have been burned along the way. You've been told no. It's hard to not be stoic. It's hard to ask for help. It's hard to be vulnerable. Guys, we understand all these things. As a 100% P&T rated veteran, Pia being the same, we understand those ups and downs. We understand what it takes to get to the mountaintop, and we want to help see you succeed as well. Please reach out to us, regardless of what position you're in right now. We want to see you get the rating that you deserve. And along with our theme tonight, our whole topic tonight was talking to families, spouses of veterans, advocates, even friends and coworkers. Please, if you're listening to us tonight, you can clearly see that we care about our fellow veterans. We just want to see you guys succeed, and we want to make sure that you do it properly. Reach out to us. Join us here every Thursday night so you get to talk to Pia for free, and let us help walk you through and get the rating that you deserve. So, Pia, we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. We're going to figure out how to get Paul in here next time. Well, we're going to make sure we get the team back together, the band back together, and get some good information out there for our last live. So this is week 3 of our Beyond the Uniform series. Next week will be week 4. We will be discussing, if you think about it, for the most part, the exact same things we've been discussing up until this point. We're going to talk about your benefits and the things that come along with being 100% P&T, but also really considering the idea of, hold on, let me put my notes back up here again, guys, 1 second. Really considering the idea of being stronger in our communities and our families, and understanding now that we've spoken to our veteran, now that we are where we want to be, what comes next. So we're really looking forward to speaking to Pia next week, because we're going to have a lot of good questions for her. And if these things don't apply to you, don't worry, because I'm basically asking for myself. I want to know what comes next in my journey with Pia and what we can accomplish together. And hopefully you guys will learn some good things along the way as well. So Pia, once again, thank you for being here tonight. We will definitely be talking to you next week. And is there anything you wanted to say, convey, tell us about before we leave?
Dee, this is Suicide Prevention Month, Suicide Awareness Month. One of the key points that the reason why we did this topic this month for the 4 weeks is because it is a very tough time as we go into the holidays for people. And I just want the family members and caregivers out there who out there helping veterans with their mental health, just understand that to truly be there to support them is to just give as much love, support. Little things go a long way. And if you feel like you need to reach out to another veteran, guys, like pick up that phone and just call them. Stop this, oh, I'll call you if I need you. No, really, if that person is on your mind, there's a reason they're on your mind. And I think all of us need to remember to do our buddy checks. So if you're feeling like you don't have anyone to talk to, you can call me. I don't mind. I'll answer the phone, because I don't use the hotline because I don't think we need hotlines. I think we need each other. And if you firmly believe in that you're out there wanting to be with a family, then call people who you know who are experiencing something similar. You just don't know what they're going through, because we're all going through something. You all just don't know what it is. And so we need to be there for each other, where we could be vulnerable, we could be in that moment, and you can talk to us. And I'm here for you. I'm going to get emotional, but just know that there are people who love you and they need you and they want you around, because when you're gone, you're not leaving the scars for yourself. You're leaving the scars on somebody else.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
There are people around you to take care of you as well. Thank you, Pia.
Yeah. Good night. Hope everyone sleeps well, and we'll see you next week.
Amen, guys. Thank you kindly for joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you again, Pia. We'll see you soon.